All right, today we're cracking open Gateway RPG. This is a system that's all about getting you from zero to hero and fast. I mean, if you've ever wanted to be a sword-swinging warrior or, a spacefaring adventurer, but just couldn't stomach the idea of all the homework that comes with it, well, then this one's for you. So let me ask you something. You ever get that itch to jump into a tabletop role-playing game? You want to tell this grand, epic story with your friends, but then you see the rule book, and it's like the size of a phone book. Suddenly your fun game night feels, I don't know, more like a final exam, right? Yeah, exactly. And that right there, that's the huge barrier for so many people who would otherwise love these games. Instead of focusing on what's fun, the collaborative storytelling, the epic moments, you're just stuck in the weeds trying to figure out charts and complex mechanics. It can totally grind the fun to a halt before it even gets going. Okay, so here's Gateway RPG stepping in as the solution. But what if there was a way to get all that adventure, but without all the baggage? Well, that's the core promise of this game. It's built from the ground up to be the answer to that problem. I mean, this quote from the game itself really just gets right to the heart of it. It's a streamlined, story-first tabletop role-playing game. What that means is it's built to be story-first from the ground up. The whole design is about clearing the path so you and your friends can jump straight into the action and the role-playing. So you might be asking, who is this actually for? Well, it's pretty much perfect for those spontaneous one-shot games, or maybe a short campaign. It's an absolutely incredible tool for teaching new players the ropes of role-playing, and honestly, it's a total breath of fresh air for game masters who are just tired of slogging through hours of prep and just want to tell a great story. All right, let's talk about how it actually works. How does it stay so simple? Well, it all comes down to a really elegant core mechanic. It's a simple engine built around one of the most iconic dice in gaming. Yep, the D20. That's it. Pretty much everything in Gateway is decided with a single 20-sided die. It doesn't matter if you're swinging a laser sword, trying to persuade a galactic emperor, or hacking into some corporate server. Your fate is in the hands of that one roll. No complicated math, just a simple roll against a target number. Easy. Okay, now to add a little bit of character flavor, the system uses two really simple concepts. First up, we've got proficiency. This is pretty straightforward. If your character is skilled at something, let's say they're incredibly strong, they have proficiency in that trait. And what that does is it grants from something called advantage on their rolls. And you guessed it, on the flip side of that, we have deficiency. If your character is unskilled in a trait, maybe they just aren't very charismatic, for example, they have a deficiency. This imposes disadvantage on their rolls. So what do advantage and disadvantage actually do when you roll the dice? Let's take a look. Okay, this is where the system is just beautifully simple. If you have proficiency, which gives you advantage, you get to roll 2 d20s and you take the higher result. Boom! Your chances of success just shot way up. Now, if you have deficiency or disadvantage, you still roll 2 d20s, but you have to take the lower result. It's so intuitive and it adds a ton of character, with basically zero extra rules to remember. And you know what? This awesome simplicity carries right over into creating your character. We're talking no calculators, no spreadsheets. You can seriously go from just a cool idea in your head to a playable hero in a matter of minutes. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this part. Character creation here isn't about filling out a form or picking from a list of stats. It's a conversation. It's about storytelling from the absolute very first moment. You just talk with the game master about who you want to be, and the character just grows out of that discussion. So the game master might ask you some really simple guiding questions, like, what type of character are you? A knight? A space wizard? What do you think your character really excels in? And hey, what do they kind of lack in? It's all about getting to the core concept in the story that you want to tell. And what's cool is that your answers to those questions lead directly into the mechanics. So based on that conversation, you'll assign one proficiency, that's your strong suit, and one deficiency, your weak spot, to those 6 classic traits you see in a lot of games: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Let's look at a quick example, right? Say you want to play a classic dwarf barbarian. You tell the GM, okay, this character is an absolute beast in combat, but maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed. And boom, just like that, you get proficiency in strength and a deficiency in intelligence. Everything else is neutral. You're done. You're ready to play. So we've got a super simple system and lightning-fast character creation. This brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial part: your story, your rules.
So what kind of adventures can you actually have with this? Well, the answer is pretty much anything you can imagine. Want to do classic high fantasy? Of course you can. Slay dragons, explore dungeons, save kingdoms. The system handles it beautifully.
But then again, you could just as easily take the exact same rules and run a game in some gritty cyberpunk future. Those core mechanics, strength, dexterity, all of them, they translate seamlessly to any genre you can think of.
Or hey, why not go even bigger? A whole galaxy-spanning sci-fi space opera? For sure. The system is basically a blank canvas. It's a universal toolkit for whatever kind of adventure you can dream up.
And ultimately, that's the whole point. The goal of Gateway isn't to box you in with a bunch of rules. It's to empower your imagination. The philosophy is just that simple. If they can dream it, they can play through it. And really, that's what this game is all about. It totally lives up to its name. It is a gateway, a launchpad. It's designed to be the most accessible entry point possible into this amazing hobby of ours. It just gets the rules out of the way so you can focus on what matters, the fun. Which, of course, brings us to the final and really the most important question of all. With a system this simple and this wide open, the only real limit is your own imagination. So, what stories will you tell?